I'm an Apple-based editor, freelance editor. I do a lot of environmental documentaries when I'm not working for the networks, a lot of underwater projects and things of that nature. I use XDCAM, standard def for the networks, which is our systems that are requested now.
My specialty is pretty much post-production and production workflows. My whole business model is around supporting cameramen, working on set with capture, handling post-production issues that may come up, designing workflows that start at the camera and go all the way through.
For the past 18 months, our main camera's been a Sony XDCAM HD F350, and that's what we shoot 90% of our stuff on. We also have a Z1, which we use for about 10% of our work. Before that, my background was with Ikegami Betacams, and once I got the Z1 about 3 years ago, I guess it's been about 3 years ago, the Ikegami Betacam went on the shelf, and I haven't shot anything with it since, because the Z1 looked better than the $60,000 Ikegami Betacam. Then when the F350 came out last year, that took it to a next level, and this brings it up even another level above that.
I went down to New Orleans on a job for CBS News, 48 Hours. We're working on their season opener for the fall. And I'd done some tests with the camera in the morning when I was off hours from them, and brought them into my hotel room and showed them some of the pictures, and they were like pretty stunned. And I suggested that maybe the next day when we shoot some stand-ups, we can do some Steadicam and mount this on a Steadicam and do some stand-ups, and they were very enthused about it. And the beauty of the system is that they were able to see each take immediately after, or a row of takes. And so they agreed to it, and we shot it, and it easily transferred down to right out of the camera in the back here. So we outputted the standard def HD SDI out of the high def signal, which was a beautiful way to start the image. And then it did its own edge cropping, so that they did not have to go outside to a post house. And they walked away with a blue optical disc in their hand, and it plugged into their Avid, and their stand-up is in their show, and they're done.
As an HVX200 user, I was actually surprised when I was asked to give my input on this. Right out of the bat, I found the camera simpler to use. I could put the cards in, I could put them directly in my laptop, and I think that Sony's taken that little extra step with how they're handling the content on the cards, making them usable for a modern workflow. I noticed in the first 30 minutes that the image was special. I'm the oddity here, being the one guy that's working in 720, and I'm very familiar with all of the 720 formats. But it was instantly noticeable to me that this camera produced an image that I liked.
It looks great. I mean, there's no denying that it looks great. While I had the camera, I wanted to really put it through its paces. I wanted to shoot in a variety of different situations. I wanted to shoot some nighttime stuff. I wanted to shoot some bright sunlight stuff, some cloudy day stuff. And I wanted to mix and match formats and resolutions and whatnot. I wanted to see everything the camera could do. Unfortunately, during the time that I had the camera, I was able to pretty much put it through its paces. And I shot everything from scenic coastline lighthouses and stuff in Newport, Rhode Island, to nighttime events, an event called Water Fire in downtown Providence, which I was just amazed at how well the camera did with the mixing the bright white hot flames with still being able to still detail in the dark shadow areas where people are sitting watching the event. It's kind of an art event.
One of the interesting things is that I've always been a fan of Fujinon glass. And when I saw that Sony and Fujinon had collaborated to put this lens on here, I was really amazed at it. And they've added a couple of things that are pretty unique to a camera at this price point. One is the ability to just throw the switch back and turn the lens into full manual mode. That's a first for a prosumer camera. And it gives you the ability to leave it in automatic and then just quickly throw it into manual and have that control. Also, the focus ring is geared. This is really important for people who want to work in repeatable situations with professional tools, with follow focus and other things. We now have the ability to, with geared controls on here, to be very accurate in how we deal with the camera. It's important that people understand that there's simple things like that that Sony's gone out of their way to do, along with HD SDI, the express cards, and the other parts in the camera, the peaking on there, histogram in the viewfinder displays. They've added a lot of professional features to this camera that aren't available on any other camera at that price point.
You know, just a lot of thought has gone into it. With the LCD just hides right in under there. You don't even know it's there, but you can pop it out and turn it if you want to. The cable connections, when you take it back to the studio, are all right under here where you don't have to see them most of the time, but they're easily accessible when you take it back. You can monitor a component, you can monitor HD, SDI, and all the audio controls are just right here, easy to get to. It's the easiest camcorder that I think I've ever used. And I think the main reason is that because, like I said, it is basically like a full-size camcorder that's been shrunk down. So once I got back to the studio, I plugged the camera in with the USB cable right directly into my computer and opened clip browser software that the camera comes with, and immediately all my thumbnails and metadata and everything else would come in, and I could immediately see what I'd shot and start reviewing it. Take one or more of these thumbnails, right-click on it, say Convert to MXF, tell it where I want it to transfer it to, and I'll create an MXF version of that file without touching the original file on the disk itself. Once they're on my hard drive as an MXF file, I just find them with the browser and drag them onto the Vegas Pro timeline, just like any other MXF file, and I can start editing immediately.
Now, I was also fortunate in the camera was actually intelligent enough to allow me to work remotely with the camera using the express cards and then play back the content from the cards with timecode and audio directly into my Premiere Pro setup. Very interesting way to work. And with true content over HD SDI, with LTC's timecode, multiple tracks of audio, and full baseband video, I now had a tool that allowed me to capture and work with content at the highest quality.
I can buy camera, editor, software, everything I need for, I don't know, maybe $15,000 or something. That's nothing. We'll make that back on one video, you know, half a video.
This is just a continuation of what we've been already doing in the optical systems, and just having that ability to see your material ahead of time, and that's the selling point. You know, you don't need any more. You don't need a monitor. You don't need a screening deck. You just need a laptop. I think everybody's got a laptop, and you travel with your laptop, so you're able to see everything. And we hand all the material off to all the APs and producers, even the sound guys. They want to see the material. They want to be part of the deal, which is great because it becomes more collaborative. And when it becomes more collaborative, there's more ideas exchanged, and we get better pictures. So when I tell people about why and how to use this thing, it's just we use our days are more efficient. We're saving a lot of time on the front end. They're saving a lot of time on the back end, not having people have to go through shelves of tapes and this and that. No, we just take it and we put it on. And if they didn't bring their laptop, we'll dump it all on a little drive form that costs $100. And they'll walk away with hours and hours of material on a $100 drive, and we'll maintain backups and optical disc backups, and they'll go with them as well, and everybody's covered, and they have immediate access to what they need.
I kind of feel like that here now in 2007, we're kind of at the perfect storm of technology. The express card technology has come of age, replacing the older technology that P2 used, which I wasn't interested at all. I mean, who can live with 8 minutes of recording time on a card? I mean, that's just crazy. And then also the camcorder size and function and design has been refined. The software manufacturers, Apple and Vegas, they've gotten their edit systems to where they can handle HD stuff. The computers can handle the throughput, and the drives can handle it. It's all the stuff coming together right now that make this possible today.
Well, it's real simple. This is high definition. There's no standard definition on this camera. You can output standard definition via the component or the HD SDI spots, but it doesn't record in standard definition. Sony's chosen to take the high ground, to take the future in that. If it's not HD, you have no future. And I think they've done a really good job in saying that we're supporting high definition now. We want high definition to be the future. We think high definition is the future, and we are no longer going to give the prosumer people SD because we don't think it's going to last much longer. And I think it's an amazing idea. I think my favorite thing of the camera is that they've taken it one step better. They've included every possible frame rate from 1 to 60. It's not just the selective ones we choose. It's the fact that Sony built a camera that's world usable. It's universally usable around the world. It shoots 25. It shoots 24. It shoots 23.98. I have the ability to match to any existing frame rate anywhere in the world with one camera. I don't have to have one camera for Europe and one camera for the United States and Japan. I have one tool that now covers anywhere I want to work in the world. That's a big jump for somebody who deals in an international market. And it's one of those things that I think that it just shows that little bit extra that Sony's putting into their products.
Bringing these airplanes together, it'll never happen again.
It flies like a dream, and it's a beautiful airplane.
We're doing our best to put 51 airplanes in the air.